Right on one. Yep. There's a fish. That is a keeper crappie. He will get a boat ride. That one we will take. That's a legal one. Well over the mark. Yes, sir. Throw him on ice. I'm just dropping some high-low rigs down here. I think there might have been a catfish on that at some point, or near it. I got a bunch of slime. I'm up on a point here. I've actually got a guide trip here in about 45 minutes that wanted to start later today. I wish they could have come early. Some people don't want to get up. So I decided to come here and do a little recon and see what's on this hunt. Just dropping one rod down and doing a slow little troll through here. We'll see if there's anybody eating. There's, like I said, there's some marks up on the top here. This may be a magic depth kind of thing to where they're at a certain depth. We'll see what's going on. Pretty warm water. I mean, we're up around 85 degrees, so it's summertime. It's summertime fishing. A lot of these fish are going to pull a little bit deeper, but you get a few that'll pull up on these points and stuff. This is not early. This is a little bit later. So kind of the nature of the beast with what we got going on. So there's a lot of them right there underneath me. The question is, do we have active fish? And we're marking fish no matter of whether they're active or not. And what I mean by that is you can have fish stacked up on the screen and they can just be horribly inactive, not doing anything. There's a pile of them down there. Look like a few crappie, a few perch. Those fish are in there. There's also a catfish in there somewhere. So it's just a matter of finding one that'll eat. That's about 15, 16 feet of water. You could park on top of this, basically spot lock on it and wait, or you can just keep moving. Sometimes they want baits that are moving. Don't know why. Sometimes they want everything sitting dead still. So you got to kind of play and adapt to it. I don't know if you got both the baits off there. Two little quick pecks, almost crappie bites. Nope, didn't get them. See if I can float on top of them. Boom, that one got hit right away. That was a good thump. About 21 feet of water is where they're at. That's another good fish. That's another good fish. Easy. This is kind of that typical summertime crappie bite. They're about back where they were when they were out here during the winter. And that's kind of the normal thing. Throw that one in there. Boom, a couple more. Like I said, we're right on the edge of this. About 21, 22 feet of water. Right where it drops down into a little bit deeper water. It's, like I said, we're above the thermocline. There is a thermocline in place on the lake. We're above it, on the hump. There's bait in and out through here. It's not a ton right now. It's back in the tank. And these are not associated to any brush piles or anything like that. I know a lot of guys like fishing brush piles. These are just open water fish. And a lot of people don't like that kind of fishing. I personally do. Is that a bite or did it pull off the bottom? It's funny on the guide trips, a lot of times people want to hold a rod. I'm telling you, sometimes you are better off not holding on to a rod. A lot of people like to feel that bite, I get that, but sometimes you were better having that thing in a rod holder and letting that hook get set. A little too much smarter. Just letting that hook get set. Plus, you can't really fish multiple rods holding on to a rod, so there's that to consider too. So I'm gonna see if I can get one more and I'm gonna go pick them up. See if we can get them on some fish. We may ride back up here. It's a couple more places between here and there. You know, the bad thing is this is a short trip this morning. So you gotta kind of dial them in kind of quick. You know, they have what looks like a pile of fish underneath the boat. Don't know exactly what they are. Boom, that one got hit. Boom, got him. So it is what it is. That's another crappie. That one's going to be close to being legal. What I need to do, I've already got some marks on this location. I fished here before, so I kind of know where this is. I don't need to. I'll see if he's legal. See if he makes the cut. He's about 8.5. We're going to let him go. Let him go back down. But I think what I'll do, I got time for one more. Store-bought minnows. A lot of people asked. I don't know. I guess some places you can't buy minnows. I don't know. They ask if I net them. I sure say I can't throw in the net to catch them. Drop them down. See if there's one more. Yeah, there's a lot of fish down there. I just got the motor turned off right now. I'm just kind of floating. once you kind of get in an area like this, it's easy to do that. You can just drop it down and let the boat float. It's funny, sometimes I think the motor makes a difference, both good and bad. It seems like sometimes you catch fish when the motor's spinning, and it's like sometimes it's like when you stop, you catch them. Just got to fish it. That's kind of the thing out here, man. It's just, and I'm gonna turn it back on. I'm gonna troll just a little bit and see if one bites. That's just the nature of it. You have to play around different things, different variables, different days. It's like I've said about a lot of kinds of fishing, catfish included. There's no absolutes. There's no, this absolutely works, this absolutely doesn't work. You absolutely have to do this all the time. There's a lot of variables that come into play, and you just got to keep that stuff in mind. Try to stay in tune to what's going on. Try to pay attention to little subtle changes, little subtle things that are different, especially if you start to all of a sudden get a bite. And sometimes it's just a fish. Sometimes they are just not feeding. This is not like crazy on fire, but I mean, 3 fish in a relatively quick amount of time. It tells me we probably hit the right depth. We got that going for us. It's just going to be a matter of probably putting the baits in front of them and picking at them. All right, guys, I went and did the guide trip back out here. It was unbelievable bite. I didn't go back to the place where I was filming earlier. I actually came to another hump that I said, you know what? There should be some fish on that hump. So I came here and we literally smoked them. It was a heck of a run of catching fish. 46 fish total. I have to look at the counter to make sure. 46 fish, which is crazy. So heck of a haul, but I'm back here. I'm gonna try catching a few more. Boom, I'm retying this rig. I had one, the last fish we caught, I'll show you a picture of it, 17 pounds, biggest fish the kids ever caught. We were not fishing for bigger catfish. We actually caught that on one of these Crappie Perch rigs. So the fact that he got, I actually sent the hook with him. The hook was starting to bend, and the fact that he got it in was, in my opinion, impressive, more impressive than the size of the fish, but the size of the fish is impressive enough. But yeah, a good haul of fish. I'm gonna troll through here, see if I can put a few more in the boat. I've got enough. They let me keep the fish, so they didn't want to clean them, so I kept some of the crappie and some of the bigger perch. So I'm gonna see what's in here and see if there's some more, see if I can get enough. Have a good old fish dinner. The thing is, with where these fish are, they're in a narrow band through here. I mean, there's fish all over, but there's a narrow band between a hump and the river channel. That's where the biting fish are anyway. So I'm kind of making a little slow troll through here, see if we can get a couple to bite. Oh, did I get around the motor? Have I got him? I got him, I got him, I got him. Trying to, ooh, crappie, and another line. Oh, that's a mess. That's an undersized crappie, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we'll chunk him either way. We got one. Let me get the boat back on course here. Pulling in the circle. That was dumb. Again, that was a crappie. I'm kind of getting back into the zone. I'm trying to get everything kind of set up and positioned here. Kind of out of position. One trick I'll tell you, Mac Byram used to tell me this all the time. Put your motor in gear when you're trolling. You can sit here and pull around and you think nothing's going to get tangled and you're paying attention, but when they go to flailing and swimming around, it's easy to get one wrapped up in the motor. You don't want the prop turning. That makes it worse. That's a funny bite. That's a funny bite. Kind of a pullover, didn't really load it kind of bite. Maybe a catfish, maybe a lethargic catfish. It is a lethargic catfish. We'll take it. We're gonna put him on ice. We're gonna put him on ice. You know why? Because I'm eating fish tonight. Whether it be crappie, white perch, or good old catfish, I'll eat that baby. Ice, ice, baby. It's funny, I picked up a bunch of minnows for this trip. We caught them pretty good on the minnows, and finally I put cut bait on. I was like, dude, these fish are schooled up really good. Let's just go to the cut bait. Pretty much smoked them. Makes it easy. You ain't got to change baits, or you don't lose baits and all that kind of stuff. So just makes the continuous catching easier. Guys, I literally think there's another fish on there. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. I wish I'd have shot video of that kid catching that 17-pounder on this stuff. He played it really well. It almost straightened the hook. I may get him to send me a copy of that. That was a well-fought, well-played fish. I hope I get into that other line I did. This is going to be a mess right here. This will be a mess. Did I pop loose? Oh, did I pop loose of the stuff? Yes, sir. Boom. That's a much better eater-sized channel cat right there. He will get the knife. A bunch of people always ask me, man, do you not ever eat them fish? Yeah, I do. This is the perfect size to eat, too. I don't eat the big ones. I'm blessed by God above. I get to fish a lot. I get to be out here a lot. I don't have to keep every fish I catch. This one, though, leave my sinkers. Going on ice, baby. Boom, that one's going too. That's a catfish. That's a better catfish. This one got hit a second ago. I think he's still on there. I think he is still on. This is a better catfish here. It's got catfish dinner written all over it. Yes, sir. Whacking and stacking. What's up, my brother? That motor don't sound good. Bring him over here, get him in. I got people stopping to look. We always got to lift them up so they can see them. Heck yeah, got a bang on them. We gonna eat good tonight. Dude, the catfish bite, to be honest with you, I think I caught, in all honesty, probably on the guy trip, we probably had a dozen catfish, and that was in a very short 3-hour trip. So unreal to get that many fish. We had a good morning. That's why I decided to roll back through here. See if we could pop the lips on a couple more. This male fish on top of the water. Yep, that fish came to the top with it. That's a big crappie, probably. No, that's a catfish. Apparently he got hooked when I wasn't paying attention. Damn. Damn. Got another one, man. Daddy's eating catfish tonight. Live baiting them, baby. Live bait. People think catfish are bottom feeders. While they will eat dead stuff, and they will eat mussels, which are on the bottom, technically speaking, there ain't a whole lot of dead stuff out there. They eat live fish, and even a channel catfish this size is going to eat live fish when they can. So, opportunistic feeders. This one gets the blade. Better fish. Gonna be another catfish. We are on the catfish. We have dialed in the catfish bite out here in the 95-degree heat. That's okay. You don't have a bimini top on your boat, your mind ain't right. That's all I can say. And amid all the boat traffic, another eater. Heck yes. Boom. I will be having catfish for several days. That's if my son don't eat a pile of them. So, no carb fried catfish. Best thing in the world. There he is. Supposed to be catching perch and crappie. These have taken over. Boom. Get them hooked up. Like I said, you could be doing this with cut bait, I feel sure. But minnows, man, it's hard for them to resist a minnow. Very hard for them to resist. I'm gonna check bait on this one. These are precision cast rods, catch the fever rods. They're what I use for all my perch and crappie fishing. Work really good. Good length. I got them in various lengths. And in my wintertime crappie stuff, that's what you see me using is these. Bang. Look up there. Okay. Yeah, see if we can get another one. I got to keep an eye. You kind of get out here and get to fiddling with stuff. Keep an eye on where you're at in relation to the river channel. I'm right where it starts to roll back down, so I need to roll back up. There's kind of a little window there where the biting fish are, so kind of a little bit of a trick to stay on top of that. Again, this changes day to day. It just depends what's going on, whether there's water moving what bite cycle they're on. You have to figure it out. This is not a, you know, you can throw you down a GPS coordinate to kind of know the area, but where they're at within a 500-yard stretch is up in the air. So you have to find them. We got lucky this morning, is what it comes down to. We got lucky in hitting those fish and getting on them and kind of figuring out real quick that once we got too deep, we hit the thermocline. We got too shallow, we just weren't seeing anything or getting hit. So sometimes it works out that way. Sometimes you got to drag around and pull stuff around for a long time to figure it out. So I'll take it any way I can get it. Sometimes it's better to be lucky and hit them in the head and figure it out quick. Sometimes you got to work. That's just fishing. It's why I love it. It's why I love the challenge. It's why I love being out here. It's why I love being a guide. By the way, if you want a guide trip, DieterMelhornFishing.com. Go check it out. Hit me up. We'll take you fishing. Can't promise you 46 fish, but I can promise you a good time.